838 Babak, Persian social religious reformer, martyred. In 1248 Sancho II, King of Portugal 1223-47, dies at 41. In 1316 Alauddin Khilji, second Sultan of the Khilji dynasty in Delhi 1296-1316, dies at 49 or 50. In 1428 Frederick I, Elector of Saxony, the warlike b. 1370. In 1564 Hosokawa Ujitsuna, Japanese military commander b. 1514. In 1584 Tobias Stimmer, Swiss painter Strasbourg astronomical clock, dies at 44. In 1612 Henric Laurenszoon Spieghel, Dutch Renaissance writer and poet Spiegel, dies at 62. In 1695 François Henri de Montmorency, French military officer and Duke of Luxembourg, dies at 66. In 1701 Ernst Rüdiger von Starhemberg, Austrian Field Marshal 1683 successfully defended Vienna against Ottoman Siege, dies at 62. In 1705 Madame d'Aulnoy Marie Catherine Le Jumel de Barneville, French author who coined the term fairy tales Les Contes des Fées, Prince Charming, dies at 52. In 1707 Louis Willem I, Margrave of Baden-Baden, dies at 51. In 1729 Joseph de Montesquiou Earl d'Artagnan, French LT General, dies at 77. In 1729 Meir Bacharach, Hebrew poet, dies. In 1745 Willem Ignatius Kerricx, Flemish architect, sculptor and painter, dies at 62. In 1752 Gabriel Cramer, Swiss mathematician paradox of Cramer, dies at 47. In 1761 Stephen Hales, English physiologist, chemist and inventor first person to measure blood pressure, dies at 83. In 1765 Joseph Franz Xaver Dominic Stalder, Swiss composer, dies at 39. In 1773 Anton Losenko, Russian neoclassical painter, dies at 36. In 1778 Charles D J Eisen, French engraver painter, dies at 57. In 1782 Ange-Jacques Gabriel, French court architect Palais de la Concorde, dies at 83. In 1786 Mozes Mendelssohn, German Jewish Enlightenment philosopher Haxaller, dies at 56. In 1789 Thomas Nelson, American member of Continental Congress, signer of Declaration of Independence, plantation owner and Virginia militia general, dies at 50. In 1793 Bengt Lidner, Swedish poet media, Yttersa Domen, dies at 35. In 1804 Charlotte Lennox, English novelist The Female Quixote, dies. In 1809 Bartolomeo Giacometti, composer, dies at 67. First American Catholic saint canonized 1975, dies in Maryland at 46. In 1825 Ferdinand I, King of the Two Sicilies 1816-1825 and Naples Ferdinand Roman IV, dies at 73. In 1831 Nicola P. Neofit-Rilski, Bulgaria abbot poet, dies at 37. In 1843 Petronella Mons, Frisian author and feminist, dies at 80. In 1849 Franz Xaver Gabelsbrücher, German inventor of Gabelsbrücher shorthand, dies at 59. In 1854 Thomas Campbell, Irish-American clergyman, founder of Disciples of Christ movement in America, dies at 90. In 1863 William Dunn Moseley, American politician, first governor of Florida under statehood, dies at 67. In 1864 Matteo Ferra, composer, dies at 75. In 1874 Thomas Gregson, Premier of Tasmania b. 1798. American shipping and railroad magnate New York Central Railroad, dies at 82. In 1880 Anselm Feuerbach, German painter, dies at 50. In 1883 Anton Eugenie Alfred Chanzy, French general b. 1823. In 1883 Nicole S. Ledesma, Spanish organist and composer, dies at 91. In 1885 Iosif Kotik, Russian composer and violinist, dies at 29. In 1886, Ernest Pancook, French publisher Horace, dies at 77. In 1891, Anton Lebel, Quebecois Catholic priest who helped resettle French Canadians in northern Canada, dies at 57. In 1891, Charles Keene, English artist and illustrator, worked in black and white, dies at 67. In 1891, Joe Hunter, English cricket wicket-keeper, 5 tests, 11 dismissals, Yorkshire CCC, dies at 35. In 1895, Manuel Pava y Rodriguez de Albuquerque, Spanish general, dies at 66. In 1896, Joseph Hubert Rienkens, German Catholic bishop, leader of the Old Catholic dissident, dies at 74. In 1898, František Pavoder, Czech composer, dies at 73. In 1898, Johnson Hagood, American politician, governor of South Carolina, 1880-82 and Brigadier General, Confederate Army, dies at 68. In 1901, Nicholas Gysis, Greek painter known for Eros and the Painter, dies at 59. In 1902, Jacobus Koot Opperman, South African Boer general, killed in Battle of Onverwaard, South Africa at 40. In 1903, George J H Poggenbeek, Dutch surrealist painter, dies at 49. In 1903, Gelston Ropert, French Roman Catholic prelate, dies at 63. In 1903, Topsy, the elephant bee, circa 1875. In 1908, Anthony Winkler Prins, Dutch writer, Encyclopedist Winkler Prins Encyclopedia, and Menot preacher, dies at 70. In 1910, Leon de Lagrange, French aviation pioneer, dies. In 1913, Alfred von Schlieffen, Prussian field marshal Schlieffen-Plan, dies at 79. In 1914, Sealers Weir Mitchell, American physician, discovered quasalger, erythromelalgia, and author Roland Blake, Hugh Wynne, dies at 84. In 1919, Georg von Hertling, Chancellor of Germany, 1917-18, dies at 75. In 1920, Benito Pérez Galdós, Spanish novelist, Episodios Nacionales, dies at 76. In 1922, Eliza Ann Gardner, African-American abolitionist and religious leader, dies at 90. In 1924, Alfred G. R. Engfeld, Austrian pianist, composer, b. 1852. In 1926, Margarita of Savoy, Queen Consort of the Kingdom of Italy by marriage to Umberto I, 1878-1900, dies at 74. In 1930, Albert L. F. Grin, Swedish clarinetist and composer, SLT Turgel Rhapsody, dies at 57. In 1931, Athamas Art Accord, American silent film actor and rodeo champion, Arizona Kid, Hard Fists, commits suicide by poison at 40. In 1931, Louise, British Princess Royal and Duchess of Fife, daughter of Edward Roman VII, dies at 63. In 1931, Roger Connor, American Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman, career HR record 138, stood for 23 years. NL batting champion 1885, NL ABI leader 1889. NY Giants, dies of a stomach illness at 73. In 1940, Konrad Weiss, German writer and poet, Tanton Dick Verbo Heart of Words, dies at 59. In 1941, Henry Bergson, French philosopher, Le Rire, Nobel Prize for Literature,